My name is Afeni. I'm an activist and organizer from DC. I currently work for the Fair Budget Coalition, but very C3ly, they're not endorsing this thing. Um, I also do a lot of work nationally, and I'm really, really excited to be here to support the Butch Ware campaign and all of the campaigns that are being represented here today. Before I get too deep in what I'm going to say, I just want to ground us in what the political moment is. Because the political moment we are facing is bleak. ICE is kidnapping our neighbors off the streets, off of the farms, out of our warehouses. The Voting Rights Act has just been gutted by the fascist Supreme Court. Femicide is on the rise while we have a pedophile in office showcasing that patriarchal violence has always been within our society and is now being codified and legitimized by our government. Housing, gas, food, all unaffordable, while our government is at war with multiple countries, degrading our global standing and forcing us into a global depression. And let's be clear that these shifts were possible because of bipartisan cooperation. Black political power has always been something that has been built outside of traditional institutions that have been provided to us. And the Butch Ware campaign is an extension of that Black radical tradition of pushing the limits of what is possible, fomenting the ground for social, cultural, and infrastructural transformation. To create a power structure that is made in the image of the marginalized, the downtrodden, and the disenfranchised communities. Tom Steyer is a billionaire who's pretending to be a populist. We do not need to continue to normalize the influence of billionaires in our government. At this time, we need people in office who not only say the right thing, but do the right thing and have showed that they are actually legitimate opposition to the current power structures that we have. And the Democratic Party establishment has demonstrated time and time again that they will not do what this moment is mandating from us. The Black radical tradition calls us into a posture of being imaginative and bold in our solutions to these issues. That tradition calls us to be rigorous in our opposition to injustice, to dehumanization, and the destruction of our planet. There has been a long history of Black working class movements who build power outside of traditional systems. I'm gonna tell you a little story. The Colored Farmers National Alliance and Cooperative Union ran from 1886 to 1891. They were formed in Texas by Black farmers who were barred from white alliances. This organization became the largest political movement in the South before the modern civil rights movement, claiming roughly 1.2 million members. They focused on building economic cooperation and buying power. They did public and political education and also tackling the oppressive crop lien system that really only affected Black farmers and their ability to profit off of their own crops. Their electoral impact was measured through their opposition to the Democratic Party at the time, who was actively trying to disenfranchise Black voters. Does that sound familiar? That's because that has always been their goal. If they cannot capture the Black electorate, they will crush our institutions. The capture of Black voters by the Democratic Party is not a mistake. They are seeking to solidify their power. They are seeking to continue to degrade us and our rights because they know that true Black radical tradition is a liberatory politic for us all. So if me as a Black person, if I think I deserve less, I'm damn sure not gonna think the farmer that's on the farm trying to make ends meet deserves more than I do. I don't think I deserve healthcare, so why the hell do you do? I don't think I deserve affordable housing because I didn't pull myself up by my bootstraps hard enough. But we don't have any boots. We don't have any feet. We ain't got no goddamn ankles. This is a moment where we must hold the line for what we think is most important. And no matter what they try to tell you in the mainstream media, we are winning culturally, rhetorically, and politically in this moment. If we were not winning, they would not be trying so hard. They would not have to be so violent. They would not have to be so oppressive. They would not have to turn up they would not have to turn up their violence and their crushing of our dissent if we were not winning, if we were not powerful. At this time, Governor Butch, see, I'm manifesting. At this time, Butch Ware is being disenfranchised right now by the state of California. They're trying to kick him off the ballot. Why? It's because this campaign represents the will of the people and the policy that the people actually want to see. Housing first, affordable and free healthcare. No copays, no none of that. Just walking in, getting what you need, and leaving. No bills, no emergency room bills. It's $800, $900 that you ain't expect to see. But a real system that is actually here to care for folks. A system that is divested from Zionism. A system that stands up against the oppression of people, not only within our borders, but all over the globe. That is what this campaign represents. And the people want liberation. I don't give a fuck what MSNBC tells you. I don't give a fuck what CNN says. The poll numbers bear it out. You go out, you talk to community members, it bears it out. The people want to survive. And there's a moment right now that there's a fracture happening not only on the left within the Democratic Party, but there's also a fracture that is happening in the right. There's an anti-establishment populist movement. Now, are their outcomes a little different than ours? Possibly. Possibly white nativism isn't necessarily my goal. You know what I mean? But I could get down with the destroying of the U.S. empire, though. I get down with that. This is the time for us to present an alternative vision to what is currently being pushed to us. We are the powerful ones in this society. Our labor, our taxes, and our active faith and participation make this system run. It makes this system go. We are embodying this system every single day. And what this campaign and the larger movement is calling you to do, and everybody else that's at home that may come across this video, it is calling you to embody a politic of care and compassion. It is calling you to embody the society that we actually need to live and to survive and to thrive in. Because our humanity is not based in what we can produce. Our society is not predicated on how much power or how much greed or how many Epstein files they can create. Our society is supposed to be predicated on the care that we have for each other. And the new world that we want, the new society that we would like to see, it exists in the space between us. And the closer we get to each other, the closer we get to that world. The more that we have these conversations, the more we continue to push against the margins, against the edges of what is possible, the more we present our alternative vision. The closer we get every day to being in a society where people can have a dignified life, where people can spend time with their children, where our children are not being kidnapped and put in concentration camps, where Palestinian children are not being starved and bombed, where the people of Iran can have self-determination without the intervention of the West, where the state of Israel no longer fucking exists. Because we are not meant to live on a world where apartheid can exist. Our world exists in all the most beautiful parts of our humanity. And what is amazing about rooms like this, what is amazing when you go out and you canvass and you talk to folks about this campaign, you ask them to write Butch Ware in, you ask them to support the other candidates that are on these slates. What is amazing about that is the love, the compassion, and the understanding that we can all come to as human beings of what we really, truly need in this society. And what we do not need is more billionaires buying up our media institutions. What we do not need is more billionaires getting tax cuts off our fucking backs. What we do not need is another goddamn billionaire in office. But what the people need at this time is that world that exists between us and our connections and our relationships and our humanity. I love y'all.